right, MLS next season. Maybe this is a question I maybe shouldn't even ask, but is Jeff Cunningham's agent really surprised that no MLS team is interested in signing him? And is Jeff Cunningham really that bad of a person, despite his goal scoring, that no one in MLS is willing to give him a shot?
Well, I mean, he got drafted by Columbus, right? You know, he's not, for a guy who scored so many goals, he's just not he's not a great player. I mean, he's been productive over the years, but he doesn't have the skill, the vision, the improvisation abilities that Jaime Moreno had. I mean, there's no comparison between Jaime Moreno and Jeff Cunningham, other than those statistics. So, Cunningham's been a good, consistent scorer over the years. But at this point in his career, does a team want to spend a lot of money on him? A guy like him? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's had issues in some of the places he's gone, and that's one of the factors you consider when you're putting together a team. You want chemistry, you want a strong bond, and I don't know if Jeff Cunningham doesn't fit into that. You're not going to take that chance. So I don't know. I don't know why Columbus took him in the first place, but he's going to look around, and I don't know where he's going to end up. He might end up in a place like Miami FC or
it's possible.
one of the second division.
He's off training and trialing in Europe right now. But I think the reason the Crew picked him up was in hopes to renegotiate his contract to where they could drop it down considerably. And I think that's the reason why it fell out, is because basically, like you said earlier, I don't think anybody wants to pay the amount of money that he's requesting.
No, and that was the case with a lot of these players who were available in the re-entry draft, is that, first of all, their option numbers were too high, so they got passed over in the first stage. And then when the second stage came up, you had to consider that how much this guy has been making in the past, how much he's going to expect to make, and then you decide whether to claim him or not. So it's not surprising that, contracts were not finalized with some of these players who made themselves available for the re-entry.
Yeah. And what do you think about, there are a lot of people out there. Oh, God, there's so many of them. And they just blast Mr. Landon Donovan constantly for not going back to Europe. But here's a guy who hasn't had a break for quite a while. What do you think about him finally taking a rest and just deciding to play with the Galaxy?
It's a smart move, in my opinion. He's been playing nonstop, like you said, for country and club. He needs to take a break. This is a guy who's vital to the U.S. cause, and you don't want to see him breaking down physically. Go back to England for a couple months. Why?
Yeah.
What does he have to prove? He proved himself at Everton last year. If one of these clubs in England truly wants him, they can fork over the money that MLS would demand for a transfer. So I don't see any reason why he needed to go back. It's a good time for him to rest, to regroup, get ready for an occasional U.S. friendly, and obviously the MLS season, and then the Gold Cup this summer. So it made a lot of sense, and people who get upset about it, but put yourself in Landon's shoes. So much is asked of this guy on and off the field.
Yeah.
He was in Zurich for the World Cup draw.
Yep.
He helps with all kinds of U.S. soccer efforts, to help the game, help the sport, plus his own endorsements and everything else. So, give the guy a break, let him have a few weeks off and get ready to go back to work for the team that pays his salary.
Busy guy. The guy's a busy guy. Divorce.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things for the game, for the sport, and he's not a machine. He needs a break. This is the time to take it. And I'm sure the benefit to the Galaxy and to the U.S. program will be immense. In 2011.
What the hell reason does David Beckham have to go back on loan to a team like Tottenham?
It's his ego, and
I think so.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's worn out his welcome, in my opinion. He's still a decent player when he's healthy, but can MLS thrive without David Beckham? Absolutely.
Right.
We have.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to have him around. He brings some he attracts some mainstream fans to the game, but come on, what he produces on the field is quite limited.
Yeah.
It seemed I was listening to the MLS Extra Time today, and it even seemed like those guys were a little fed up, and they didn't trust what he'd say, because he still talks about how he wants to be the ambassador of MLS, and he wants to do this for MLS, but he always goes away, and he always gets injured or comes back. I think he's spent more time injured than he has actually playing. So it just a lot of people are getting fed up with it.
Yeah, and it's all about him. He's not doing this for the benefit of the Galaxy or MLS. It's truly about him.
Yeah, I mean, he can't stay out of the spotlight for longer than 2 months.